Hi all, this is Rex King again. I'm here to present another video with regarding the subject of manifesting the best life possible, really. But I call it the path to paradise, this one. So basically to manifest the best life possible is the path to paradise. So basically what I'm trying to do is to those of it with a religious background, help connect that religious background with manifesting the best life possible today. Because that background, although it was helpful to your lifestyle in the past, may not be helpful to your life moving forward. Because what's happening is the consciousness of mankind is growing. It's maturing. It's making better decisions, better thoughts. It's more people are entering God's kingdom, paradise. Let me explain what this image means, and I think you're going to find it quite interesting on how you have more power in your life than you realize. Again, I call it path to paradise. Okay, and basically, just to understand what's happening is. This is a lifetime, each lifetime. Okay, so imagine this is you as an individual, this is your life, this is what you're going through, okay? This is each individual lifetime, and you're right here, okay? Where are you now? Okay, well, you're going to figure out where you are now once I go through this. You're going to say, oh yeah, now that I understand this graph, I'm right here, I'm right there. I don't want to point to any spot because nobody, I don't want to influence anybody's thinking. But once you understand what this means, you're going to be able to say, for the control of my free will, where am I now? In other words, the control of your free will, your life, your ability to make the best life possible for you and your family. How is that possible? Controlling your free will. Anyway, let's just get right into this. Now, time is flowing this way, okay? And the vertical is ignorance. Okay, so basically you're ignorant down here, ignorance down here, but as you grow in maturity, you go into paradise. In other words, you're able to manifest the life of your dreams. You're in paradise, okay? And this is the zone that you're born into, okay? So as you're born as a child, you want to go from ignorance to growth, to maturity, where you can be in paradise as an individual, a person, okay? So basically, your goal, male, female, individual, you, is to learn to control your free will so that you can manifest the life of your dreams. And what that really means is to make all the best decisions in your life so that you accomplish exactly what you want. If you want to become a mother and a housewife and have a partner for life and raise a family and all that kind of good stuff, then plan it, manifest it, because become the kind of person that would draw a husband that would want the same, and then y'all would have a happy life together, okay? Or, point to a child going to school, wanting to grow up and learn to be some trade of any kind, okay? Well, how do you do it? Well, that's what this is talking about, for the control of your free will, to make the right choices to make that happen. I've done some other videos that basically explain the manifesting process. I recommend you taking the time to watch those as well. But this isn't about manifesting. This is about individual souls and the choices and how we have to be careful about the choices we make in life so that we can make sure that we follow the path to paradise and don't get sidetracked. I mean, that's what this is about. So in our lifetime, we're growing from ignorance when we're born as a baby to paradise, maturity, mental mind, where we can live make decisions to where we live in a world that's wonderful. Okay, so basically, as we go in through life, then we have to make decisions. Now we have to be careful, because what's happened in the past is there has been many ignorant decisions made, and what has happened, it has led some to fall into a trap. Okay, and a trap of ignorance, and it's a trap that Adam and Eve thinking, okay? It's a slave zone. It's to believe one is blocked somehow. To believe that, to believe that one is blocked somehow is to believe that God is petty thinking. It's trapped. God is not petty. He's just not. And to think that we're blocked somehow as his children from achieving success is ignorant thinking. It's below ignorance. It's slave zone. In fact, that's the point, is that people, they get trapped into this thinking, this devil thinking, this fear thinking, is is where cults live here. That's where they live, in that area. Okay? And so people that get religious and start thinking that God requires so many things of them, they get trapped into this zone. Okay? Because you have to remember, we have free will. Okay? For the control of your free will. What a lot of people would like to do in many groups, and this can be for good and for bad, but the point is it has to be healthy, it has to be balanced, it has to be for good purpose. You know, like political parties. You know, they form into a group, they have sort of a way of thinking, okay? But it needs to be healthy for all. It shouldn't be one-sided, it shouldn't be unfair. Because that's what this is. To believe that one is blocked somehow. Oh, I can't get all I want because they got something. And if they got it, I can't have it. Well, that's not true. I mean, the all is all. It means you can have all you want, but you have to actually manifest it into your life. Don't try and take it from somebody else because you didn't get it. Well, you didn't get it because you didn't want it bad enough. Where are you now? What do you want? What is your dreams? You know, everlasting life of individual souls in paradise zone. How important that is to you. How much do you want it? And the reason why I'm trying to emphasize this is because if you don't really want it, if you're not really expecting that, yeah, I have to plan the life I want and make it happen and not make goofy decisions and just keep bouncing off the walls, never really learning anything thoroughly or committing to where you actually accomplish something. Now, granted, I'm not saying that it's wrong to, when you realize you made a wrong choice, to change. But the thing is this, is if everything that you do in life is the best you can do, you're always going to be making progress because you're always going to be growing. So if you learn one trade or whatever, even religion, if you have learned religion to a tremendous extent, you've developed a moral code that's a wonderful thing that you don't want to ever give up. Okay, this isn't about morality. This is about free will. And so, but now that you've got that morality, it's sort of like this. I mean, in the Bible, Jesus talks about that. So it says that it's a tutor leading to Christ. You know, where it's the Bible and all is a tutor leading to Christ. Well, the point is we're supposed to become Christ-like. So the Bible, its point was to teach us the basic principles of the Christ so that we can incorporate them into our being as individuals, and we would become Christ-like. And if we're becoming Christ-like, I assure you, we're going from ignorance to maturity. And we're going to wind up in paradise. Okay? Because if we're Christ-like, there's no question that is our dream. What is how to manifest the life of your dreams. That is your dream. If that's your dream, then it will be achieved. You'll have the mature mind. And I'm talking about in anything that you want in life that's healthy and helpful and balanced to where, the paradise. In other words, if you're in this area, you're in paradise. That means everybody else in that area is in paradise too. And so if you're doing something to where you say, hey man, all these people, they're giving me trouble and problems, and you might want to rethink how you're, because they're in paradise and you're having a problem. So, what's going on? The point I'm getting at is to get up here, you have to actually be mature. You have to actually grow. You have to actually, do the work. You can't ride on someone else's coattails forever. Now, don't get me wrong. You can stay very close to another individual. So let's just a husband and wife. The husband may take the lead, or the wife may take a lead in maturity and spirituality, but the other one takes it to heart, and it's who they are too. Just one may be more interested. This isn't about, loving God. This is about being a good person. This is about, everlasting life of individual souls in paradise. In other words, you are a child of God, but you're only, instead of calling this maturity, let's call this quality. Going from a poor, ignorant quality to a high quality. Quality is a good word because what it does is it helps you to appreciate if God is all, okay, well, how does all get quality? How does the all get quality? I mean, you can't just make it happen. You have to You have to actually develop it. In other words, how does gold come into existence? Well, how does it? It has to go through a process. Yeah, I would like to have some gold. Well, to get gold, and if I'm God, what do I have to do? I have to create a sun, and the sun has to explode, and the supernova gets hot enough or whatever to where gold, the heat and the pressure, whatever, that allows form to go to the energy of gold to form, bam, it happens. Something like that. But the point I'm getting at is it's the same way for us. If we want to be gold, in the past they called them alchemists, those that were, I think Isaac Newton was an alchemist. In fact, most of the scientists of the past, they were alchemists, I think. But the point is that's what they were talking about. This is Alchemy 101. I mean, this is it. So what we have to do in our life is we have to do our best to make sure we don't get trapped in ignorant thinking, continually work at manifesting the life of our dreams, focusing on our life, the lives of ourselves and our community. And if everybody worldwide is doing that, then the whole world goes into paradise. The issue we have right now is there are many people in paradise, but there's many people that aren't. And what's happening is this zone of ignorance is, of course, causing trouble on the earth where paradise could exist much more, but people are trapped in past truth. They're being deceived into thinking what bad is good and good is bad. To make bad choices, you get trapped in this zone, confused zone, dead-end thinking. Eventually, if you don't come to your senses and realize your ignorance and start working your way back, you get completely trapped in ignorance and you just die that way eventually. The thing is a person can be very mature and yet deceived. So what I'm saying is that you may know 90% of what you need to know to be in paradise. You may know 99%, but you're on the wrong side of the line because there's some bit of deception that's still haunting you. And there's a good chance it has to do with the devil. The devil. A fear. What's keeping you from entering paradise is the question. What is doing it? The zone much of world mankind is in today. It's trapped right here. It can't quite get into paradise. They might be a wonderful person, live a grand life, and yet die in poverty because they can't quite figure out, what it is. The organization, some of these religious organizations is perfect. I mean, they're as sincere as a heart attack, and they're good people. But they're right here, though, right on the wrong side of the line, and they can't figure out how to get over. And what's keeping them back is this. They're actually, with regard to maturity, 99% of it is up here, but that 1% that's down here is enough to keep them from going over. Because a mature mind can't be deceived into thinking that God is petty and that there's not enough room for everybody and that we're all one united, human, universal family, with humans evidently at the top of the food chain, as they say. But this is it. Hopefully I've covered this thoroughly enough. I didn't want this to last long. But basically, I tried to put a few religious phrases in it to help a person to understand that this is it. I mean, there's no devil stopping us except for ourselves, letting us get trapped in this foolish thinking. I've done other videos that help a person to how to manifest your dreams. I've also have a video that explains what the devil really is, why, in other words, why the world has problems in it, how does a person get trapped in this ignorance zone, basically what it does, and how to get out of it. So I think I'm trying to cover all the bases to help a person get their life in gear. Someone that's been caught and trapped in these cults, trapped in this ignorant thinking, and they're trying to figure out how the heck can I get my life in gear and make progress forward? How do I do this? Watch all of the videos I've done, and from that, hopefully, you can begin, at least start thinking and I recommend getting a notebook of some kind, start keeping a journal, start asking questions that you want answered, and desires that you want fulfilled. I want to become, I'm doing this, I'm working for somebody else, but I always wanted to have this. What do I have to do to get myself in gear where I can accomplish and make this business happen? And start planning it and dreaming it. And what's going to happen is you're going to start attracting all the information you need to you to manifest the life of your dreams. Because there's something called the law of attraction. You see, that's the issue, is that because we are God's children, we are creators. And so we have to be careful where we are and what we think we are doing and where we want to go, what we believe, because all of that controls our free will. So if we can get someone to believe something that's not true, oh yeah, you got to watch out. You need me to watch over you. You need me to mind you the rest of your life, because there's a devil out there that wants to get you. And the only way the devil's not going to get you is if you know God. And the only way you can get to God is through me, because I know God. I'm in first place with him. So you come down here and live with me in this ignorant thinking, and I'm going to make sure you have a nice, sweet life. Well, I assure you, you might think it's nice and sweet, but it's not, okay? Because they're picking you clean, keeping you occupied, doing their stuff, making them wealthy, making them feel like big stuff, and you're not getting nothing out of it in reality. It's like staying in grade school all your life, because you already know the basics. Now it's time to manifest a life. Because beyond learning the basics of good and bad, what's the purpose of religion other than maybe a social group? But to have watch over your soul and your morality is silly, because we're all God's children. We don't need anybody else to watch over us. In fact, the scripture even says that in the last day, which I consider now, in that day, when people can understand this, no one will say no God, no Jehovah, whatever you call him, because everyone will know him. And that's what we're saying, is this is what you got to do. There's no devil you got to watch out for. It's be a good person and manifest the life of your dreams, because that's what you want. And if you want to be part of some cult and be, commit to that and live your life that way, that's the life of your dreams. And you're going to be down here living that life. You're not going to be in paradise. You might think you are, because they got you deceived. They got you ignorant, thinking you're in paradise, but in reality, you're trapped. You're not manifesting the life you'd really like to live. You're waiting on some Jesus to come save you. But the fact of the matter is, Jesus said you needed to become Jesus. So the Jesus is going to save you is you taking the time to learn how to control yourself, your free will, to take the time to learn what's really true today, what's relevant today, and you will be able to manifest the life of your dreams. In the Bible, at the beginning of it, where God's talking to Adam and say, Adam, this is what it is, okay? And he gives Adam all the property of the earth, and he says, be fruitful and live the life of your dreams. Have a family, subdue the earth. Right there, God was giving Adam direction on how to manifest the life of his dreams. But instead, they got trapped in some ignorant thinking that a devil was out to get them. And because they began to think this became the life of their dreams. And so they began making this path, because they didn't know better. They were ignorant. And before they overcame their ignorance, they basically fell in a hole. They fell in a well, and they've been trapped in this well ever since. A lot of mankind is still trapped in this hole, this well. And the only way out is through thinking, coming to understand, to have faith that the thing that makes this thing happen, there's no sense in a devil. There's no sense in fear. It makes God petty and stupid. And the all is not petty and stupid. The only persons that make petty and stupid, the only souls that make petty and stupid decisions are us. And he doesn't interfere, because he's got a process that I'm showing you here that once you recognize it, you can overcome and go through and navigate a good life. Not letting yourself get trapped in this thinking down here. A person overcomes ignorance and then they grow beyond it. They don't live in it and have it watch over you the rest of your life, like a tutor. like God putting a devil to punish you if you didn't do it quite right. It's simply foolish to think that a person has free will and can be imperfect at the same time. It's just simply foolish thinking. It's ignorant thinking. It's thinking down here. We're all perfect, but we're ignorant perfect. And if you don't want to be ignorant perfect, then you need to train yourself to be better. A lot of us have already done 90% of this. We're right here. And we don't even know it. Hopefully, where are you now? Hopefully, from me going over this and you meditating on it, you'll be able to figure out where you think you might be. Do you know for a fact you're in paradise? Or do you just think you're in paradise? Because you may be right here and not know it. How do you know where you're at for a fact? How does a fish know it's in water? That's the question. How does a fish know it's in water? I used to be part of a religious organization, faithful as can be. In fact, I had dedicated a year of my life to go volunteer and work for them, to produce their literature. While there, they had a special talk. And we go into this talk, whole place. This is one of the governing members of this organization giving a talk. And I'm sitting in there, and this man is talking complete nonsense. Because I'm a dedicated brother, doing my best to understand everything in full. And this brother is talking complete nonsense. And I'm looking around, and I see everyone is just with rapt attention. Like, man, this is the best stuff since sliced bread, you know. I saw the water. I saw the water. I saw the deception. I didn't know what to make of it. I just knew that, wow, this is amazing. Afterward, everybody was talking about how wonderful this talk was, how wonderful this, the best talk they ever heard. And I'm looking like, wow, I never heard BS like that before in my whole life. Well, to make a long story short, a few days later, this brother was disfellowshipped from the organization. He was gotten rid of. Well, I saw what happens when you're in a deceived condition. This man went up there and talked BS for an hour and a half, probably. And everybody licked it up like candy. And I knew that something was wrong, that this was BS. And afterward, they bragged about how wonderful it was. Well, a few days later, when this person was kicked out, it was like it never happened. It was like it never happened. Yeah. To be deceived is an awful thing when you don't see the water, and yet the water's all around you. Anyway, hopefully this is going to help you to get a grip of your life, see where you're at. If you're, trapped somewhere where you're not happy, and you know who you are, where you're at. I mean, it's a personal thing. If you feel like, hey, look, my life's dead end, I haven't accomplished anything. If this organization I'm with, it's obvious that it doesn't know what between up and down. Yeah, I've learned all I can get from it, and I know how to teach my children the same. If I want to continue to be part of this as a little social organization, that's fine, but I'm not going to let it have moral authority over me anymore. It's just BS. I'll be in a slave zone if I do that. Well, I might let myself believe in it to some degree because it's beneficial to the family, other people I know, it's been my life, whatever. There's no reason to panic about anybody's life. Just figure out where you're at and figure out, because if you know you're here, then you know what to do to get here. Because you're conscious. Because this is about, another word you could use, this growth is from ignorance or unconsciousness to consciousness, awareness of what a person has to do to be successful. I mean, that's it. I mean, it's not about God cleansing the earth and all that kind of stuff. I just did a video about Revelation. What does the book of Revelation really mean? I just did a video. And if you watch it, I think you'll come to understand where this fits in perfectly. Because Revelation is basically saying, hey, look, in order to get into paradise, you need to get rid of the devil. You need to lock the devil up, put him where he belongs, in a little cage, because he shouldn't be influencing your life if you're a good moral person that wants to do good. It's just not necessary to always be worried about bad happening, because God isn't petty. Our lives are going to be successful as long as you make yourself a successful person. God doesn't make gold. I mean, people don't take the time to mine gold and bring it into their lives and then use it for some wasteful purpose. Now, granted, if they've got much gold, they'll use it for anything, if they've got a lot of it. But that's because it's so wonderful. They'll use it because the more gold you can get in your life, the better. Well, the goal I'm talking about is the goal of becoming the individual that when the all looks at us, he sees a person an individual soul that he wants in his paradise, that he's keeping up there. The thing is, it's not about God wanting us to be a certain way because he's petty. It's about him knowing that if we're going to grow and be part of the mature ones in the family, we have to be mature. And so we, in our own personality, develop a maturity that's acceptable and can get into paradise. And I mean, you've got control over your personality and who you want to be, and you can be in ignorance if you want, but if you actually want to be in this area, that's fine. Living in ignorance is not a bad thing if you're happy, and you want to stay here. If you want to, I want to believe in this because my life's good and I want to die this way. That's fine, okay? But that doesn't mean it's good for everybody. It just means that's where you want to be. There's people down here that like to be. There's people running this show. You think they want to leave? No, man. They happen to find themselves in charge. They're just as deceived as everybody else, but at least they're in charge, So why break it if it's not fixed? I mean, if it's not broken, why fix it, And that's where, some of these men or women that's running these organizations, some of them do come to their senses and try and expose it. As it's just unnecessary. It's just unnecessary tax on people's lives. In order to be a successful life, it's right here. Just plan it. Look at my other videos. I'm done with this. I don't want to run this anymore. It's already a little longer than I would have liked. Hopefully you've gotten something out of it. The path to paradise, which is the same as God's kingdom, God's desired world for mankind. That's it. What he wants. God doesn't have any dead children. They might be ignorant. They might be trapped in the slave zone, but they're alive somewhere. Even the devil just gets locked up. Even our ignorant thinking isn't destroyed. It's locked up. In other words, it's something we don't go get and take out because we don't want to be stupid and have fears unnecessary. It messes up paradise. Anyway, thanks for listening. Hope you got something out of this. Bless all mankind to grow up and mature so that we can get everybody in paradise. Have a world to where the ignorant part in these zones are quite minimal, manageable. Give these people a chance to grow up, but all mankind will be balanced for the most part. No more wars and peace and security over mankind forevermore. Thank you.